Number 1. Philippine funerals. Shock the world. Funerals in the Philippines are very different from most other countries. While many farewells in the United States are quiet, formal, and last a few hours, in the Philippines, it is a time for the whole community to gather, chat, eat, and even play cards near the coffin. This custom stems from the ancient belief that the soul of the deceased needs to be kept awake overnight to avoid being replaced by an aswang, or evil spirit. So relatives and neighbors take turns staying up all night, talking, singing, or playing cards to keep everyone awake. The card games here are not just for entertainment. Winnings from games are sometimes pooled to help the family cover funeral expenses, a very rustic but meaningful form of community support. Wake ceremonies can last from 3 days to a week. Children play, adults chat, and visitors often bring food or beer to share. This atmosphere may be confusing to foreigners, but it brings an unforgettable feeling of warmth. For many Filipinos, the passing of a loved one is not the end. It is an opportunity for those left behind to come closer together, where sadness is lightened by laughter and humanity is maintained in the midst of loss. Number 2. A nation led by women. In many Filipino families, the wife manages the finances, decides where to live, and chooses the children's schools. The husband often hands over his entire salary to his wife as a symbol of trust, something rarely seen in countries like Laos or Cambodia. Some sociological studies have described the Philippine family structure as matrifocal, meaning the central role belongs to the mother, a characteristic quite different from that of the Southeast Asian region. According to the World Bank, more than 50% of Filipino women attend university, and about 43% of corporate management positions belong to them, the highest in the region. The country has had 2 female presidents, many female ministers, and is consistently among the top 20 countries with the highest gender equality index globally. In sectors such as healthcare, banking, and service exports, women make up a large proportion of the skilled workforce. In television, music, and movies, the image of strong and determined women appears frequently, reflecting social life. Filipino women impress with their bravery and beauty, a mixture of Latin and Asian, helping this country regularly appear in the top 10 countries with the most international beauty queens. Some local beauty pageants even attract viewership equivalent to major sporting events, showing the strong cultural influence of women here. Number 3. Manila's cemetery community. In the heart of Manila, where housing prices are among the highest in the Philippines, there exists a unique community. Thousands of poor people live right in the North Cemetery, where the living and the dead share the same space. This influx began in the late 20th century, when urbanization forced many families to lose their homes. Left with no other choice, they built corrugated iron roofs between the graves and gradually turned them into homes, small grocery stores, or even classrooms for children. During the day, adults do all kinds of jobs, from manual labor, looking after graves, cleaning up tombstones, to selling food to visitors. Children run around the graves, which they consider their own yard. Most relatives of the deceased do not object to this presence. Many believe that at least the graves are cared for, creating a quiet, symbiotic relationship between hardship and empathy. Since 2019, the government and Manila North Cemetery authorities have begun implementing relocation measures, but due to the lack of resettlement housing, only a small portion of residents have been assisted to leave. The rest continue to live among the dead in the heart of the bustling city. Number 4. The sacred dog ritual. In an era where dogs are considered family members in many parts of the country, some communities in the northern Philippines still practice dog sacrifice during traditional events. The practice stems from the Canao religion of the Ifugao, Igorot, and Kalinga people, where dogs are seen as sacred animals that connect people to their ancestors. In rain-praying ceremonies, healings, and weddings, the sacrifice is considered a blood offering to bring good luck and ward off evil spirits. According to animal welfare organizations, between 20,000 and 30,000 dogs are sacrificed each year, a much lower number than in the 1990s, but still controversial. Some anthropologists believe the ritual once helped to unite the community because the entire village agreed to the ritual. For mountain dwellers, the ritual has spiritual value and is not for eating. However, international visitors are often shocked by the comparison to the United States or Japan, where killing dogs is a crime. Many described it as an unforgettable cultural experience, a departure from the norm they knew. The Philippine government currently bans the commercialization of dog meat, but remains flexible with traditional rituals to preserve identity. Some provinces have launched education programs to encourage the substitution of dogs with pigs or chickens, although acceptance remains limited. Number 5. A nation of free-roaming dogs. On the main roads and small alleys of Manila, Cebu, or Davao, the image of stray dogs has become familiar. According to the Department of Agriculture of the Philippines, this country has more than 23 million dogs, and nearly 12 million of them are stray dogs, among the highest in Asia. This large number comes from many reasons, such as poverty, that makes it difficult for people to raise them, the lack of popular sterilization services, and the habit of letting dogs roam freely in the community. In many residential areas, dogs go in and out between houses and streets, looking for leftovers, sleeping in front of shops, or taking shelter under the shade of graves. In contrast to countries like the US or Japan, where dogs are microchipped, leashed, and strictly controlled, in the Philippines, dogs live as part of community life. Children play with them, vendors share food, and whole neighborhoods sometimes take care of a pack of dogs as common property. Despite the lack of resources, most people do not eat dog meat because they consider it immoral and incompatible with Catholic culture. For international visitors, the sight of stray dogs roaming freely may be surprising at first, but it leaves an unforgettable impression of a society where the boundary between humans and animals is close and sometimes heartbreaking. Number 6. Philippine toilets. Welcome everyone. In many countries like the US, access to public toilets is often controlled by strict regulations. You have to be a customer who has made a purchase or asked for a key code to use it. However, in the Philippines, this rule is almost non-existent. People can enter the toilets of coffee shops, convenience stores, or supermarkets without any transaction or explanation. This culture stems from the spirit of bayanihan, a tradition that values sharing. For Filipinos, letting strangers use the toilet is not a hassle but a polite gesture, showing respect for the basic rights of each person. Many stores even hang signs, "Toilet for everyone," as a welcome to anyone in need. However, there are still unspoken rules. When you are a tourist, buying a bottle of water or a small snack is considered a polite thank you. In tourist areas, some places have a voluntary tip box for visitors to leave a few coins. These small actions reflect the culture of behavior that emphasizes politeness and gratitude in Filipino life. Number 7. Jeepneys, the soul of Manila. The most recognizable symbol on the streets of the Philippines is not a luxury car or a modern train, but the jeepney, the American military jeeps that were recycled by the people after World War II. From battlefield vehicles, they were lengthened, fitted with wooden seats, painted in bright colors, and became the cheapest passenger vehicle in the country. Each jeepney is like a mobile work of art, covered in bright colors, pictures of saints, superheroes, or the names of the owner's relatives. The driver decorates it himself to tell his life story, reflecting how Filipinos express their personality in the midst of a crowded life. Despite being cramped and full of dust, jeepneys are still a symbol of simplicity, connection, and creativity. On a ride, strangers can chat, exchange news, or laugh together, something rarely seen in many modern cities. Today, the Jeepney Modernization Program is gradually replacing old vehicles with modern and cleaner electric vehicles, but they lack the familiar soul. Many fear that as the jeepney disappears, the memories of generations will also fade. Number 8. Philippines Toilet Secret. For many visitors, using a toilet in the Philippines is an unforgettable experience. Here, water is used instead of toilet paper, and the most familiar item is the tabo, a plastic cup placed next to a bucket of water in most toilets. This practice dates back to pre-colonial times, when Tagalogs used water in ritual bathing to purify their bodies. The habit of using water is both hygienic and reflects the concept of radical cleanliness. Filipinos believe that water washes away everything, from dirt to negative energy. For them, washing with water shows respect for oneself, while using paper alone may be considered not clean enough. Toilets also reflect a sense of community. In schools, restaurants, or offices, toilets are often shared, and users always flush and clean their own areas as part of a collective responsibility. For visitors, this distinction can sometimes be confusing. Many people are not used to using tabs or are surprised that toilet paper is not thrown down the toilet but in the trash. Many have had to adjust their habits to fit in with the local culture. Number 9. Why Filipinos bathe in public. In the Philippines, bathing is not only a personal hygiene activity, but also a community activity, especially in poor areas and rural areas. People go to public taps, village wells, or small canals along the road to wash away the dirt after a long day. In close-knit communities, bathing in public is not considered shameful, but shows openness and a spirit of sharing. Many families also turn this into an occasion for conversation, where children play and adults update the news of the day. For international visitors, the scene may be strange at first, but for locals, it is a natural part of life. Many visitors say that laughter under public taps is one of the warmest images they encounter. Although urbanization has made this habit less common in cities, in many villages, the sight of people bathing under public taps is still very familiar. In some mountainous areas, people even build temporary water tanks for everyone to use, reflecting the simple lifestyle and strong community spirit of Philippine villages. Number 10. Philippines Karaoke Obsession. In the Philippines, karaoke is not just a pastime, but has become a part of cultural life. From urban to rural areas, regardless of rich or poor, all it takes is a microphone and an old speaker for the whole neighborhood to sing together until late at night. Filipinos grow up in a musical atmosphere. They sing in church, in school, at festivals, and see singing as a way to express their emotions. Music helps them overcome difficulties and keep their faith in a life full of hardships. In poor neighborhoods, singing every night is a sign that joy still exists despite limited material things. A small microphone is enough to turn strangers into friends, because here everyone has the opportunity to sing and no one is judged. Karaoke blurs the gap of age and status, making meetings warmer. However, the love of singing sometimes causes controversy. The song My Way was once removed from the playlist of some karaoke bars because it caused conflicts, showing that music in the Philippines is not only entertainment but also associated with the pride and identity of the people. For foreign tourists, karaoke is an unforgettable experience where they can feel the optimism and enthusiasm of this country. If one day the Philippines stops singing, perhaps it will no longer be the Philippines as we know it. Number 11. Why rice rules the Philippines. In the Philippines, a meal is almost incomplete without rice. Whether it is grilled meat, dried fish, or even spaghetti, all are served with rice because for Filipinos, the flavor is only truly complete when there is white rice on the plate like a background music supporting all the melodies. Rice has long gone beyond the role of food to become the center of culinary culture. The concept of ulam, or savory dishes eaten with rice, represents the spirit of sharing when the whole family sits around the table and picks up small portions of rice into a common bowl. Despite the growing trend of fast food and dieting, this habit is very difficult to change. In the US, bread or potatoes can replace rice, but in the Philippines, rice is a symbol of comfort, family, and memories. Visitors quickly realize that many conversations begin with the question, "Have you eaten rice?" This question is not only about the stomach, but also a way to express concern. If there is one image that tells the story of Filipino joy and togetherness, it is the simple bowl of white rice that nourishes both the body and soul of this nation. Number 12. Street food you won't forget. From the narrow streets of Manila to the night markets of Cebu, Philippine street food opens up a world of colors and unforgettable aromas. Visitors are both curious and amazed when they see balut or helmet, a dish that can easily shock but is a source of cultural pride for Filipinos. For them, this is not a strange dish, but a witness to the spirit of daring and the habit of making the most of everything in life. Many families even consider balut a dish to tell stories at gatherings. Along with the challenging dishes are easy-to-enjoy dishes such as taho, kwek-kwek, or turo-turo, suitable for all diners. It is the combination of friendly dishes and limit-breaking dishes that makes Philippine street food unique. Small stalls not only sell food, but also serve as a community meeting place, where strangers can chat and become friends. In the US, people go to bars to socialize, but in the Philippines, it happens next to fried food carts. Many markets also have live music right next to the stalls, adding to the lively dining experience. Despite the proliferation of fast food chains, street food still holds a special place in the hearts of the people, as eating here is not just about filling up, but also about feeling the rhythm of life. For tourists, exploring street food is the quickest way to understand the optimistic spirit of the Philippines. Many say they only truly understand the country after their first bite of balut. Number 13. How Filipinos speak without words. In the Philippines, words are not always the main form of communication. A glance or a slight pursed lip is enough to let others know you are giving directions, signaling, or expressing agreement. In many rural areas, Filipinos are used to using their eyes instead of their fingers and their lips to signal, a discreet but intimate habit. This action reflects the gentle and non-confrontational nature of Filipinos. They believe that communication does not require loud voices. The important thing is to be subtle and respect the other person's feelings. Eye or lip signals help maintain harmony in the community, reflecting the talking without talking style that is familiar in a culture that emphasizes gentleness. For tourists, being shown directions by lips can be confusing, even making them feel like they are being teased. In fact, it is a sign of friendliness, a way for Filipinos to maintain a soft touch in everyday interactions. Over time, these silent signals have become a distinct, subtle, and uniquely Filipino language. Number 14. Filipinos love sweet, savory foods. In the Philippines, sweetness is present even in dishes that are traditionally considered salty. Spaghetti with sweet tomato sauce, hot dogs coated in sugar, or adobo with a light caramel flavor may surprise visitors, but for Filipinos, it is a familiar taste. After World War II, when Western dishes were introduced, people changed the taste by increasing the sweetness to save money, suit their taste, and make it easier to eat. According to culinary experts, the habit of eating salty but preferring sweet was also influenced by the Spanish and American colonial periods, when sugar became a popular ingredient. In hot and humid climates, sweetness helps balance the dish, aids in preservation, and softens the strong taste of vinegar or fish sauce. Many families always keep a jar of sugar next to the stove to add to any salty dish when needed. Sweetness here is not just a preference, but also a way to express emotions. A little sugar in a dish is like a word of comfort or care in the family. In Filipino culture, sweetness has become a symbol of warmth, a taste many people grow up with and carry with them when they leave their homeland. Number 15. How trash becomes food here. In the Philippines, pagpag is the name given to leftover food picked up from dumps or restaurants, washed and refried to sell to the poor. Each bag costs only 20 pesos or Varo 35 USD, cheaper than a pack of noodles, but for many families living in Manila's slums, it is the only meal of the day. The process of making pagpag is risky. Pickers choose intact pieces of meat, wash them with cold water, season them, and refry them to create a fresh feeling. Despite knowing the risk of infection, they still eat it because hunger is always more threatening than disease. Pagpag has become a clear symbol of the gap between rich and poor in a city where dumps and shopping malls are just a few blocks apart. Along with pagpag is double-dead meat, the meat of animals that have died before slaughter, bleached and sold very cheaply. Both dishes reflect the harsh chain of survival, where people are forced to accept risks to prolong life. The Philippine government has repeatedly banned and increased inspections and implemented programs to support cheap food. But while poverty persists, pagpag continues to appear as a testament to resilience. For tourists, the sight of people lining up to buy food that would otherwise be thrown away is always an unforgettable shock. Number 16. A nation of sachets. The Philippines was once called the plastic waste capital of Southeast Asia because of its high consumption of disposable packaging and sachets. People use about 163 million sachets a day and generate more than 2.7 million tons of plastic waste each year. The convenient small packages, or tinky culture, are a solution for low-income people, but at the same time create a burden on the environment. Amid economic hardship and the need for quick, convenient, and cheap, many Filipinos still buy small, ready-to-use sachets, reflecting consumer habits that prioritize low prices over recycling. Plastic waste has thus become an image of a lifestyle that is difficult to change. However, a younger generation is pushing for change with ocean conservation initiatives, plastic collection projects, and trash for rice programs. One program in Batangas alone has collected more than 4.3 tons of plastic in nearly 2 years. The Philippine government has also implemented the Extended Producer Responsibility Act of 2022, which requires businesses to collect and recycle plastic packaging, though infrastructure and public awareness have yet to catch up. When tourists see trash covering beaches or flowing down rivers into the ocean, they are not just seeing trash, but seeing the price society is paying for everyday convenience. Number 17. Every store has an armed guard. In the Philippines, It is very common to see security guards carrying guns. From banks, shopping malls, fast food restaurants to 7-Eleven stores, security forces appear densely, confusing many tourists because a country famous for being gentle has such a high level of security. The origin of this begins with the history of urban crime, conflicts in the South, and periods of political instability, causing people to associate a sense of security with the presence of weapons. When faith in the state's ability to cover is not really strong, security guards become a symbol of order. Some shopping malls even apply bag checks and metal scans at the entrance, making security checks a part of the culture. What is special is that people with guns in the Philippines always maintain a friendly attitude. They greet, smile, and assist customers, creating an interesting contrast between weapons and kindness. This reflects the Filipino way of life, where strength is demonstrated through responsibility and courtesy. Many people see security guards as part of the community, regularly speaking to them and calling them by name. Number 18. Manila's Deadly Trash Mountain. In the mid-1990s, the Payatas landfill in Quezon City was considered Manila's giant garbage mountain. Every day, more than 1,500 tons of garbage were dumped there, piled up nearly 50 meters high, surrounded by slums where thousands of people made a living by scavenging for scrap. In 2000, after heavy rains, the giant garbage dump suddenly collapsed. Accumulated methane gas exploded, and a landslide of garbage swept down, burying hundreds of houses. At least 200 people were killed, mostly poor households living near the landfill. The disaster forced the government to close Payatas, investigate responsibility, and issue the Solid Waste Management Law RA 9003, ending open dumps nationwide. Many households were resettled, but some still returned to make a living from the new piles of garbage. 2 decades later, Quezon City has changed dramatically. Payatas closed permanently in 2017, was reforested, built a methane treatment plant, and implemented the Zero Waste Barangay program. By 2022, the city was honored by WWF in the One Planet City Challenge for its efforts to reduce emissions and expand green spaces. However, under that layer of green grass, millions of tons of old garbage are still slowly decomposing and producing toxic gases. A reminder that Quezon City, although changed, is still living with the legacy of the once giant garbage mountain. Number 19. Why nicknames are official. In the Philippines, seemingly joking names like baby, lovely, boye, or honeylet are not only used within the family, but also legally appear on birth certificates, degrees, voter ID cards, and government records. While in the US or Japan, official names are often formal, in the Philippines, nicknames become real identities. This practice stems from the value of valuing emotions over form. Filipinos believe that names should reflect family affection, not social status. This shows a very unique concept of professionalism, because ability is judged by actions, not by names. In the community, using nicknames creates closeness, erases the gap between seniority, and shows the typical pakikisama spirit. Even politicians use this way of addressing. Names like Bongbong Marcos or Leni Robredo appear on election campaign posters with an intimacy that makes voters feel like they are acquaintances. Visitors are often surprised by the culture, but from there understand that in the Philippines, a name can carry the friendliness and warmth of the people here. Number 20. Filipinos are always late. In the Philippines, being late is not always considered disrespectful, but sometimes considered part of the cultural identity. The concept of Filipino time describes the habit of arriving 15 to 30 minutes late, originating from the agricultural era when people lived by the sun instead of the clock. The rhythm of life is linked to nature, so they do not pay as much attention to every minute as in many other places. As we enter modern times, this habit has become part of a lifestyle that emphasizes human comfort over the constraints of schedules. While in the US or Japan, punctuality shows professionalism. In the Philippines, being a little late is sometimes seen as a soft courtesy, giving each other more time to prepare. Many community meetings only start when enough people are present, not at a fixed time. This reflects the general character of Filipinos, prioritizing emotions, valuing harmony, and putting relationships before time. However, society is gradually changing. In 2011, the One Time campaign was launched to encourage punctuality. Some tech companies in Manila adopted electronic timekeeping, creating a generation of punctual young workers, while many traditional communities still maintain a slow pace of life. For tourists, Filipino time is not about slowness, but a reminder that in the Philippines, time is just a tool. People are the focus. Number 21. The country that never stops talking. The Philippines, a landmass of more than 7,600 islands, has done something few would have expected: become the world leader in call center and outsourcing services. The country has overtaken India to become the global BPO hub. The industry accounts for nearly 8% of GDP, employs more than 1.4 million people, and brings in about $30 billion a year, making the Philippines the world's communication hub. The Filipinos' suitability comes from their easy-to-understand English accents influenced by American history, combined with patience, politeness, and empathy. They maintain a calm demeanor even when dealing with difficult customers. Buildings in Manila, Cebu, or Davao that used to be quiet at night now light up as hundreds of thousands of employees work through the night to process requests, provide technical support, and financial advice. This title reflects not only economic strength but also the Filipino character: connecting, listening, and serving in all circumstances. Even through natural disasters and unrest, they maintain a soft voice and friendly demeanor while working. For them, each call goes beyond work because it is the Philippines' way of talking to the world. A small country, but every night their voices resonate across the planet. Number 22. Where 5 forests become one. On the island of Mindanao, the Hamiguitan Range Wildlife Sanctuary stretches for about 20 kilometers, covers nearly 6,800 hectares, and reaches an altitude of 1,137 meters. In 2014, it was recognized by UNESCO as a World Natural Heritage Site because it contains almost all the typical ecosystems of the Philippines, like a miniature version of the island nation's nature. Within an area of just over 20 kilometers, Hamiguitan contains 5 types of forests: coastal forest, lowland forest, mossy forest, deciduous forest, and dwarf montane forest. The change in altitude and climate creates contrasting landscapes where giant ancient trees stand next to mossy forests that are only as tall as a person. The sanctuary is home to more than 1,400 species of creatures, including 13 mammals, 141 bird species, and many endemic plants, such as a 1-meter-high bonsai forest, the Philippine eagle, and the rare banana musa sabuana. At an altitude of about 1,600 meters, the short ancient trees still twist in the strong wind and cold air, creating a fragile yet attractive beauty. From the top of the mountain overlooking the Davao Oriental Sea, people have the feeling of standing on the boundary between life and the invisible world. If Hamiguitan could speak, it would probably remind people of the fragile balance that is gradually being lost. Number 23. The Philippines' silent language of respect. In the Philippines, respect is not only expressed through words but also through behavior. When a young person bows down and places the hand of an elder on their forehead and says, "Mano po," they are continuing a ritual of gratitude that has existed for generations. In a family-centered society, the way of addressing is also a way of connecting. Filipinos call strangers kuya or ate, treating them as older siblings to expand the family circle to the community. This creates a sense of closeness, and no one is considered an outsider. They also avoid saying no directly. Filipinos often respond softly, express themselves in a roundabout way, or remain silent to avoid offending the other person. This is not avoidance, but a priority of harmony in the spirit of pakikisama, where preserving feelings is more important than winning or losing in a conversation. Compared to cultures that emphasize formality such as Japan or Korea, Filipino behavior is softer, friendlier, and gives a sense of respect, but still warm. Number 24. Philippines Fortress Church. In the peaceful countryside of Iloilo, the limestone and coral-built Miagao Church still stands out as a symbol of the Philippine faith. In 1993, the structure was recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, making this small church a national architectural masterpiece. Completed in 1797, the church was designed as a fortress to protect the community. Its nearly meter-thick walls and 2 large bell towers have protected villagers from attacks and many earthquakes in the central Philippines. The facade of the church depicts St. Christopher carrying the child Jesus through a coconut forest. This work combines Spanish Baroque art with indigenous Visayas style, creating a vivid story of the intersection of faith and folk culture. For the people of Iloilo, Miagao Church is not only a place of prayer, but also a memory for many generations. This is where important milestones in people's lives take place, from weddings, baptisms, to emotional farewells. Number 25. World's most mysterious mini volcano. In the middle of Batangas province and just a short drive from Manila, Taal Volcano appears as a paradox of nature. It is one of the world's lowest active volcanoes, standing at less than 400 meters high, but has the power to shake the entire Luzon region in just a few hours. What makes Taal unique is its unique mountain within a lake and lake within a mountain structure. The ancient supervolcano crater created Taal Lake, and in the middle of that water rose the current volcano. Right inside the volcano's heart is another small lake, giving Taal a three-layered geological structure that is unique to any other place on the planet. Over the centuries, Taal has erupted more than 30 times. The most recent was in 2020, when ash fell as far as Manila and forced tens of thousands of residents to flee their homes. However, after each natural disaster, people around the lake still return to fishing and farming as part of their daily lives. They believe that the volcano only gets angry when humans forget to maintain balance with nature. Number 26. More than 20 earthquakes a day. The Philippines sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire, where more than 90% of global seismic activity occurs. Underground, tectonic plates collide, making the country one of the most seismically active places in the world. On average, there are 15 to 20 earthquakes a day, with only 2 to 3 strong enough to be felt. The 2013 disaster in Bohol, a 7.2 magnitude quake that killed more than 200 people and destroyed many historic structures, became a national turning point. Since then, schools have held regular drills, and families are encouraged to prepare go bags with water, flashlights, radios, and medicines. Despite thousands of tremors each year, Filipinos do not live in fear. Houses are built flexibly, children know the rule of duck, cover, hold, and after each earthquake, neighbors clean up, laugh, and sing together. In the midst of turmoil, they choose resilience and optimism. Number 27. Living with water in the Philippines. In the Philippines, flooding has become a familiar rhythm of each year. Low-lying terrain along the coast, a network of rivers, and about 20 typhoons and frequent heavy rains make the country one of the most flood-prone in Southeast Asia. Surveys show that many families in Manila and Parañaque face 2 to 3 floods a year. Filipinos accept this phenomenon as a part of life. When streets turn into canals, they put up planks for walkways, prop up furniture, and invite neighbors to take shelter. Floods cause significant damage. In 2010 to 2011 alone, more than 1.23 million people were affected, and property damage was equivalent to 898 million pesos, or about $20 million. Part of the cause is an overloaded drainage system and garbage blocking the flow. For tourists, however, the sight of people rowing makeshift boats on the asphalt or children playing in the rain creates an unforgettable impression. Some floating cafes even spring up during high water days. The Philippine government has expanded early warning systems, risk zoning, and invested in flood control projects. But as climate change increases the intensity of rains and storms, floods return each season as a reminder that sometimes people have to live with water instead of trying to eliminate it. Number 28. World's longest Christmas season. In the Philippines, Christmas is more than just a holiday. It's the longest season in the world. People start decorating, playing music and hanging lights in September, and the joy lasts until early January. The last 4 months of the year, September to December, are affectionately known as the bear months, when the whole country is filled with the sounds of Silent Night and the smell of Noche Buena, a baked rice cake. The most recognizable symbol of the holiday season is the parol, a glowing star-shaped lantern that symbolizes light and hope. Each parol is handcrafted from bamboo, cellophane, and sometimes even faith, the belief that whether poor or rich, God's light always shines on the home. In the lead-up to Christmas, millions attend Simbang Gabi, a series of 9 consecutive early morning masses. Filipinos believe that whoever completes all 9 masses will be granted a wish, not a luxury, but health, love, and peace for the family. For international visitors, Christmas in the Philippines is a magical experience. Songs echo from small villages to big cities, children caroling from house to house, adults sharing meals with their neighbors. Here, Christmas is not just a religious holiday, It is a festival of faith, reunion, and kindness, where an entire nation comes together to light up the winter with smiles. Number 29. The Fiesta Beauty Phenomenon. In the Philippines, few things bring out the jubilant atmosphere like fiestas that take place throughout the year. Amidst the vibrant drum beats, bustling dances, and the smell of food wafting through the streets, what people look forward to most is not the fireworks or the grand parade, but the village beauty pageant. For Filipinos, beauty pageants are not just about beauty, but also a profound cultural symbol. Regardless of the scale, from schools to residential areas, the beauty pageant stage is always a place where the community gathers together. The crowned person not only wins the pageant, but also becomes a representative of the pride and aspirations of the people in their area. What makes this tradition even more special is the Miss Gay pageant for the LGBTQ+ community. During the bustling fiesta days, contestants step onto the stage with confidence, charming humor, and receive enthusiastic cheers from the audience. The Filipino love for beauty queens is not an extravagant thing, but a reflection of how they find joy and beauty in everyday life. Number 30. Tourists instantly belong in the Philippines. Perhaps no other place in Asia is as easy for tourists to integrate as the Philippines. From the first time you set foot, you will feel a sense of familiarity, not only because of the landscape, but also because of the people. Here, a smile, a nod, or a "Hi, ma'am, sir" is enough to turn a stranger into a friend. Filipino hospitality is expressed through the little things, sharing even an umbrella, giving directions, or inviting a friend to eat, because they believe that joy is only complete when shared. In local culture, helping others is not a courtesy, but an instinct. The Philippines is truly a world of upside-down surprises, isn't it? If you find this video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Which fact impressed you the most, or which country would you like to explore next? Leave a comment below and see you on the next adventure.